We are now joined by the Baseball Hall of Famer, the greatest Toronto Blue Jay ever. He'll never say that, but I'll say it with him on the line. It's Roberto Alomar joining us today here on Tim Sid. Robbie, it's been too long, man. There's a lot happening. You're in San Juan, Puerto Rico. How are things there? How are you holding up?
Well, things are good. They're not too bad. We're still struggling with the virus. You have to be really careful. The protocols are all over the place. Here in Puerto Rico, you have to be home by 6 o'clock, and they're really strict. You have to make sure you stay the distance from the people, and be smart about it.
Yeah, same could be said about anywhere in the world right now. Be smart about it. It's great advice. Hey, and as if there weren't enough going on, is there like Sahara sands blowing across Puerto Rico now? Like what is that?
Yeah, that's all over the place, man. I don't know. Like it's really hot. But I'm used to the weather, but it's a little bit different. Hopefully it goes away really soon. We'll see what happens.
Rob, before we kind of get into it, I've been told your sweater has significant meaning. What's going on with the sweater? What?
This is Fresh. Fresh is a company from Canada. They're in Calgary. They want me to say a shout out, hello to Fresh. Thank you for the sweater. And they're great people. I had a good friendship with them, and they send me clothes, so just want to give them a shout out.
Nice. Listen, you wrote a letter in both Spanish and English about what's happening as baseball tries to get back. Why did you feel the need to put something out on the internet?
Well, so you guys know that I work for the commissioner with the commission in MLB, and I also was a player once, and I also work for the Jays organization. To me, I needed to say something. Is because I love the game of baseball, and I know that the only thing we talk about is always it's about the players and about the owners, but we never talk about the fans. We never talk about the people that work at the ballpark. And I know a lot of people are hurting at this, especially in this time, hurting that they don't have a job, they have a family to take care of. So that was kind of my message, to see if both organizations can get together, and hopefully they get into a common sense. And I know we are going through this virus, and if we can get to a common sense where we can at least play some baseball game, it will be great for the people who have no job, and for the fans to watch a game, at least on TV.
Roberto Alomar, Baseball Hall of Famer here on Tim and Sid. The first line in your statement, Robbie, you said, quote, "I'm in pain over what's happened to the game that I love," end quote. How shocked are you that as today began, this back and forth with ownership and players still wasn't over?
Well, sometimes it's shocking, but you really don't know what sometimes you cannot get involved in the conversation because I am not part of the owner,
ownership group,
association group, and also the player association. For me, I just want to say something and say I am in pain because I'm not watching the game that I love. And I want to see, sometimes we think about the players that are playing at this moment in the big league, but there's some kids who are playing in minor league who have dreams to become big leaguers. And especially this year, there's not going to be no minor league baseball. So what those kids are going to do? So they really are losing 1 year of their playing time. And that's what I refer. I refer more to let's get something done. Let's take the precautions and try to play baseball, so at least the young guys too can get ready for hopefully next year.
Robbie, I see this often when we're talking about sports, that people live in the present, the right now, oftentimes a little too much, and that sometimes we don't learn from the past, even if it's there for us to read about and to understand. All three of us remember 1994. What do you remember most about 1994 and what it did to you in the game?
Well, for the player side, sometimes you have to realize that we are fighting for the guy who were retired. We wanted a higher pension. We wanted the salaries to go a little higher. So we were fighting for more the young generation and the guys like my dad who was retired, so they can have a good pension. So and that's what the player association sometimes fight about. I understand that. So, but it's the difference now, more money, and the owners, I believe, making a little bit more money. But sometimes we have to think about what do we need to do to help others. And that was really my message. My message was more, let's get something done. I went through a lot of pain in 1994. We lost almost a year, and it was nice to see baseball come back. And I don't want to see the fans go back to 94 and don't come back to the game. The last time in 94, we lost a lot of fans. So I don't want to see that happen. I think this is a great game. And it is an opportunity, especially for the young guy, to go to the big league and make a living.
Roberto Alomar here on Tim and Sid. Is the feeling you get today, Robbie, about how the fans are absorbing this similar to 94? Now, I know 94 canceled the season. I understand it's not an apples to apples discussion right now. But do you feel fans are as angry today watching this as they were in 94?
I really don't know. I cannot answer you that question because there's so many things that are happening these days. Coronavirus, the things that happen in the United States all over the place with the what happened to the cop, and that's really sad news.
Yeah.
There's so many things that happen to this world, and people want something that is positive. People want positive stuff. We want to get along. We want baseball back, and I think baseball could be a way to people can get back together. Now that I'm talking about the topic, in my house we all look at people like equal. We all equal. We don't see colors. We see people, and that's what we always love. In my house they taught me to love each other no matter who they are, and I hope I can send that message. Let's get together, get along, and because this is a beautiful world. We need to keep the world beautiful and able to travel any place we want, go to a game any place we want, go to churches and don't look at people looking at the color instead of looking at people.
Roberto Alomar joining us here on Tim and Sid. And I know you practice what you preach because you love to give back. I know canceling the T12 tournament in Toronto must have been tough, but I hear you're also doing some work with kids in Puerto Rico. Speak on, can you tell us a little bit about how hard it was to cancel the T12 in Toronto, but to know that you can work with kids in Puerto Rico?
Well, it is a little pain because once again, here we had chances to bring these kids to T12. So they can choose to sign as a professionally or go to college. So this year we have to postpone. We have to get ready for next year, and just tell the kids, just tell the young guys, keep going, keep working hard, and you're gonna have your opportunity next year. So what I'm doing here in Puerto Rico, I'm trying to buy a franchise from winter ball. From just a team. I want to have a team of in winter ball, and all the guys that I'm gonna try to help is the young guys that are 18, 19, that they don't give them the opportunity to play here professionally in the winter ball league. I'm gonna grab those. I'm gonna try to sign those kids to give them an opportunity to have a team and play against the other teams.
Nice.
That's awesome. Robbie, considering, you mentioned already the current state of minor league baseball. The state of minor league baseball going forward was going to be cut anyway. Those decisions had already been made. You going forward and trying to get a winter ball team in terms of giving people access to another opportunity going forward, how vital will situations like that be, considering minor league baseball is going to shrink for a number of reasons over the next little while?
Well, it's going to shrink. And you know what, Tim, now it's going to be more difficult for the guys to make it. But understand something, in life, we have to work hard for what we want. it's not gonna come to you. So now the young guys, what they have to do is take life day by day, work hard, believe in their talent, and it's gonna be more competition. And because it is more competition and less team, now you have to dedicate yourself to,
right.
If you want to play in this game and you want to, play professionally, it's gonna be competition there. So you know, and that's why I always say this game is individual, an individual kind of sport. Yes, you play as a team, but as an individual, if you do your job as an individual, you're doing your job for yourself and the team.
Right.
So now the kids have to take, the young guys have to take day by day. What I have to do to become a better person and a better player today. Don't think about tomorrow. Think about today. And then when this day is finished, then think about tomorrow. And it's going to be more competition, I think, and more challenging.
Robbie Alomar joining us here on Tim and Sid. Robbie, we've been doing a show, I guess, almost 4 months now without sports going on, and we've had a lot of conversations along the way. One of my favorites was with Buck Martinez, who told us about playing winter ball in Puerto Rico with Roberto Clemente. And Sid and I just smiled the entire conversation because it was amazing. What does winter ball in your home and native land mean to you?
To me, I always tell everybody, when I used to play in the States, and I remember, I can tell you a story when I was 17 years old, and this is why the league in Puerto Rico is so important. When I was 17 years old, I was picked on the draft. You have to go through a draft. They pick you in the draft, and I was only 17. My manager, Felipe Alou, who I admire, and I thank him a lot for giving me the first opportunity to play in winter ball. They're supposed to bring a player from USA, and the guy couldn't come, so he decided to come a little later. So they put me to play in second base. They gave me the chance, they gave me the opportunity, and from that day on, I was their second baseman.
Right.
That tells you how important it is, because life is about opportunity. They give me base. I make the best of it. I work hard, and I stay with the position. And from that point on, I played 2 more years, and then I was in the big leagues. So it tells you, for me, it was the foundation. It was my base to understand the game and to become a better player.
A lot of Blue Jay fans are thankful that the decision was made to put you at second base.
Felipe Alou is a smart man.
It's really smart, man. He's
Did you like second base, Robbie, when you first played it? Did you like it?
I never played second base in my entire career until I was, I believe I was, they told me that when I turned 20, that I went to spring training with the San Diego Padres. That's when I started playing second base. I always play shortstop.
Wow.
The good kids always. I was gonna say the good kids always play shortstop. That's what they do. They throw them out at shortstop and let them go.
I wasn't good enough at short, so that's why they changed me to second. No, I'm just kidding.
So you wouldn't have been a Hall of Famer at short. Robbie Alomar wouldn't have been a Hall of Famer at short as well. You don't think?
Hey, I cannot predict, but I know I am a Hall of Fame at second. So I don't know.
That's true.
Before we let you go, last one from me. What do you miss most about baseball? Like I was talking about this with a friend of mine. Like the specific thing that I miss the most about baseball is like watching a shortstop glide deep into the hole and either flip that long throw to first base. Sorry, I'm a lefty, so I did it with my left hand. There's no shortstops that are left-handed, but you know what I'm talking about. Flip that, or the Derek, Tony Fernandez used to do that sidearm, just that flip over to first, or Derek Jeter, the jump throw from deep in the, like, what do you miss most about watching baseball?
Well, you talk like a fan.
Yeah.
I was more like a player. I can talk like I was a player.
Yeah.
I love making a great play, getting the other guy mad. I love being with my teammates. I love traveling, and I love the game, and I really love the game. I was really blessed with a great talent, but I also was blessed with a great family. The foundation, the base especially in my house with my mom and my dad and my whole family. That was why I was able to achieve so many goals in my life. It is because of them. Because without the support from the people that you don't know, it is really challenging to make it to the big league and also continue to stay in the big leagues. So to me, I was really, really blessed to have a great family. And
Especially,
I still do.
Given these times, you appreciate family a lot more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate family a lot more. Robbie, this was great. Listen, we appreciate you doing this all the way from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Whenever you come back to TO and whenever Tim and I are not in our basements, please let one of your first professional engagements be to come back to the studio or just have dinner or whatever, because we miss
thank you guys.
Appreciate it, brother.
No, I love
miss it.
talking to you guys. Like I say, I love your shows. Make sure you keep going. And I want to send a shout out to my little daughter Lourdes. I know she's watching. Daddy love you, and nothing, guys. Take care, guys, and we see you soon.
Be well, Robbie.
Go Jays. Go Jays.